Alright. How we doing, ladies and gentlemen? My name is Wolf, and Fellowship has an unfixable problem. I need to make this video because the dev team has to see this, or someone has to see this. We have to perpetuate this around the fucking community, because otherwise we are going to be fucked very enormously quickly. Because these are the tank stats. I put this up in a video previously. This is game-breakingly, unplayably bad. Fellowship is not dead. You just can't find queues, because there are literally no tanks whatsoever. Right? No tanks whatsoever. But it gets fucking worse. This is unplayably bad, not only because of the stats themselves, but because of the fact you can't fix it with the way the current systems are implemented. Allow me to explain. Okay? So, in this statistic, this is from Hamish, maybe a week ago. It was a week ago, so I don't know if it was a snapshot during prime time, or a snapshot during off time, or whatever have you. There are 6 tanks in Contender, 6 tanks in Adept, 8 tanks in Champion, 4 tanks in Paragon. I assume this doesn't count premates, because premates will be in-game, not in-queue. So if you're him, you can pull one of 6 tanks in solo queue, right? Don't be an asshole to your tanks. There's very fucking few of them. If you clear a champion who's already adept, you're in on a top 1% spot. Let me explain why you can never fix this, given the current system of the game, and why Fellowship will brick fast if they do not address this now. Okay? Ready for this? You never get this. You never fill this. From this moment forward, as Fellowship stands, this number never goes up. End of story. Allow me to explain why. This vendor. If I switch to Mako, I am currently I'm currently a top 1300 Tariq. You can see it right here, right? 1300 in fucking global fucking everything. I'm 1333 right now. Let me remove the fucking chat cover to prove it to you. I haven't updated my little snapshot because it changes as it goes, but chat cover, prove it for the video, right? 1333 Tariq. Right? I've been pushing my fucking heart out, having a great time, playing with the boys, playing on stream, carrying the boys, all this. So, now, I have timed champion tier, right? Timing champion tier. Timing the champion tier means that I never have to play Contender again. I am playing Contender to help people. If you time Champion League, you never, ever, on any character, ever again, have to play Contender. Let that sit for a second. Let the air hang. Okay, let me explain why. I'll do it for you live. If I was to play just one character and one trick, you will drop supplies. Supplies gathered from dungeons, yada yada yada, text, fucking who gives a shit. You get this from end boss chests reliably pretty much all the time. I also have some farms on the channel, you can find them quickly. So, if you time Champ 1, which will be the rush strat, or at least my rush strat, because of how powerful this goddamn weapon is, because by getting a Champ 1, or by timing Tazari, you can then take the 2 items you get, and you re-roll to a weapon, and you try and hard re-roll the second one to a legendary. That is the strat every season, until they change things and nerf them. Because this skill tree is so goddamn powerful, you want this as soon as humanly possible. You can randomize everything in here. Like, the game design is absolutely fantastic. Love it. Game of the decade. I'll cover more about that later in the 100 hours video that I'm going to do at some point. However, you one trick, you OTP, you get a shitload of supplies because you have nothing to spend them on aside from these boxes on the quartermaster right here. Right? Gives you gold to then build up your resources. Now, here's the problem. I swap to Mako. Right? My Mako has 17 eye level. Starts with 1 item, starts with whatever have you, right? Now, what did I just show you? Do the math. Let's make some synapses fire. Do you see the problem? Or do I have to go into layman's terms here? Alright, I'm gonna do it anyways, because I need to explain it the whole fucking way down. These give you white items. In this case, I can buy every single thing in here if I have one tricked, like Crypto in my chat has. He has one tricked rhyme the entire game all the way to now. He has enough supplies to pick a secondary character, instantaneously gear them all, because he has timed the Tazari, with 135 eye level white. Which means he can then instantaneously, with full 135 eye level that scales down to 120, go and queue and quick play a match to find a Sithral's Fall, which it will guaranteed give him, because the quick play is based, or sorry, not quick play challenge, is based off of eye level. Were I to queue this on Mako, right, or not on Mako, I would get low keys because I'm low eye level. If I was above a certain threshold, I would get only 5, 6, 7. I've proved this on on stream multiple times. You would only pull 5, 6, 7. Because it is Q based on eye level. And since you're playing as a tank, there's 6 of us. You're going to get 5, 6, 7 every time. And the DPS are going to want to take the 7 every single time. Because it's the best gear and it's the only blue. And you're going to be forced to do the dungeon over and over and over again. So, what does that mean when a new tank comes out? You can't save the game with a new tank. You can't increase the tank numbers with a new tank. You can't increase the number of tanks in contender queue with a new tank. The only way you could, air quotes, save the game is to add, or not save, but like, you know, it's not dead, right? But that people are having problems with finding games is going to lead to dead very, very quickly. And it's not because the game is dead, it's because we have no fucking tanks. However, if you add a new tank right now, if what they decide to do is go and add everyone's little self-insert, you know, any sort of male tank, whatever the fuck it is right here, anyone who has timed higher keys, tank players included, because if you're a tank player, you get instantaneous queues, which means you gear faster, which means you push exceptionally hard, and you've cleared somewhere here. Once you've cleared here, you now have this unlocked, because this unlocks via your reward panel, unlocking up to here. Notice how I don't have it timed here? Notice how I don't have any of this time, but I have this account unlock node, which means I can go and buy all these. And so all you do is you buy all of these with your supplies, your 135, you hit play, you hit contender, you get an instant 7 because of eye level. You clear 1, 7, and now you're in Adept. On a brand new tank at any point. So when all of the player base, arguably, is stuck in contender because they cannot find a match, because there is no tanks, even if you add a new tank, all of the tank players who have already established themselves are going to go back to Adept, because they are going to gear themselves with 135 from the supply vendor, do 1 Sithral's Fall, because it's going to forcibly give them a Sithral's Fall when it queues, because it will give them a 5, 6, 7 forcibly on eye level. The randos will pick a 7 because they want to get the gear, and then they will brute force the 7 because it'll be the only thing that they can queue when they solo queue, because of, like I said, eye level solo queue. Every queue is going to be 5, 6, 7 every single time, meaning they're going to just brute force the Sithrals. Once they time the Sithrals, then they start doing Adept. And then the player base still has no players in contender whatsoever. This is a wonderful vendor for player ease and utility and whatnot. This simultaneously and single-handedly will brick the game. Because if you add a new tank, all you do is buy 135, do 1 Sithral's Fall, and you're a top 2% player on that tank. It will not fix the problem whatsoever because this vendor exists. You can add 2, 3, 4, 5 new tanks. You will just do the same thing. You will just use your main to farm supplies, insta-gear that character in 135, forcibly run 1 Sithrals because the quick play will, or the match that you find will only give you 5, 6, 7, and then you'll be an Adept in 1 game. This needs to be addressed some way, somehow. You either have to remove this vendor so that people are forced to start in contender with 0 gear the moment they switch to a new character, which is a design choice that might piss people off in the first place, but I think it's the only way you can healthily do it, where every character you play starts at 0, because then, if I were to play Helena up to champion, or up to Paragon, and then I switch Mako, I'm back in that contender queue. Now, yes, I am only in that contender queue for maybe a day until I get the Sith Rolls Fall, and then I time the Sith Rolls anyways. And at the end of the day, it just adds time to my life because I can do it anyways in like a day. But if you don't do that, they don't even go to the queue. They play one match of contender on a new tank, on 5 new tanks at once. You play one game each tank, and you're in Adept, and you can't find matches. So, feel free to comment about how I'm wrong, but I don't know any other way to particularly fix this. Other than, like, I don't know. I don't know. So, feel free to let me know other options in the comments.